Welcome back to Days of Qoom. My name is Rishi. Today we will be going over resizing, how to view it, and what we can do about it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to this other file of mine that I have, scroll up to the top, and copy this meta. I will talk about this in a second. It's common practice to put this in your files, right? Also, we can just quickly do this, make it a little easier for us to read. But so what this is that this is a meta. Meta is like, the easiest way to describe it is something regarding your website and across multiple like platforms, whatnot. You can search more about it if you want to. This is the meta tag. The name of it's going to be viewport. This is going to be defining different device widths, which is width, device widths, and initial scale of 1. Hold on, let me just turn this on. Yeah. So now if we reload the page again, nothing should happen, but that's fine because what we want to do is inspect it. And you see how everything all of a sudden just crashes. You can see how there's a lot of blank space here, blank space there, and everything, right? This is not looking too nice. And this is on, I believe, what, 500 pixels, 600 pixels, something like that. Yeah, 599 pixels, which doesn't look amazing. So that's not the best thing. Yeah. So what we're going to do about this is we're going to change up how this looks at some rate. So I believe first of all, I want to make sure that this is more constricted or more put into place. Like right now, if I commented out this line here and I reload this page a few times, let's see, is it gone? Yeah, it's gone, but it still looks not the best. Like some stuff has definitely changed. You can see most of this is a little bit better, but it isn't amazing, right? So what we're gonna, and also you can click on this toggle device toolbar, and it'll show you different devices. So like if I want to, first of all, let's expand this a bit. Rotate this. Yeah, so this is an iPhone XR size of 50%. At 100%, it would look like this. You could scroll down it, scroll up it. You can do whatever you want with this. This is how it'll look on an iPhone XR, which is 828 by 792. But if I switch this to something like 500 pixels, let's see if I can change this. No, I can't. So go here, hit responsive. We can just keep expanding and decreasing this. Obviously, around, I want to say somewhere around 400 pixels, you would see phones not getting smaller nowadays. But this is how it would look on 400 pixels, which is decent without this meta charset on here, right? Which you can obviously keep it if you want to, but with this meta charset or this meta tag here, if we reload the page a couple times, yeah, you can see now. Look at this, it doesn't look too well. So you can either remove the meta tag or you can continue on with this video. If you're removing the meta tag, that's good for you. If not, let's follow through with this. So I'm going to keep meta tag here, and I'm going to head into my styles here. At the bottom of my page, also my modals, I believe, will also be messed up. Let's scroll down here, hit a modal. The modal isn't actually terrible, so the modal's fine. Can leave that, but we have to work on some of this stuff, like these going too far out, this image looking really wonky and whatnot. First things first, that in my header I want to say header h1 h2 h1 h2 header h1 and header h2, and I want to put margin bottom 2 pixels, margin top 2 pixel. Okay, Yeah, it's not much better, but that's fine. Yeah. So what we're going to do here is we are going to scroll into the very bottom. Hold on, what is this error here? H1 should not be qualified, and H2 already has. So we should just, I don't know, put spaces here, perhaps. Header div H1 H2. Okay, this is strange. We should just we should define H1 up here, I guess. Margin top 2 pixel and margin bottom 2 pixel. Yeah, see, now it's a little bit closer here, a little bit easier for us to read, but you can still see it's really weird up here. Yeah, so now I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom here, and I'm going to put at media. I put the tag over here too if you want to copy it. It is at media screen and max width 600 pixel. That's about the size I want to edit at. So at media screen and size and max width 600 pixel, like so. Now inside of this, I'm gonna essentially do all of this again. So not all of it, but most of it. So we should just look at this. What do you want to change? First of all, font size 40 pixels. That's much too big. So we can say body font size 20 pixels. Yeah. Okay. So now we have some stuff changing here. We can say that all of this text here has decreased by a lot and it's more readable. Next thing I want to look into is this header image, right? This header image is way too big. We're gonna do header image and then put width 100 pixel, height 100 pixel. This is too small, so now we can mess around with this, see what we like. So I'm going to put now 200, see what changes, see what looks better, see what looks worse. This looks slightly better, but still too big. So now 150 pixels perhaps. Let's try 175. How about that? 175. Yeah, okay, so now this looks a little bit nicer. But I think just to make it a little bit safer, let's just put 170 by 170 and a margin at the bottom of about 5 pixel. Okay, and margin at the top about 5 pixel. 5 pixel. And actually, these 5 pixel margins should be constant, so I'm just going to move them up a bit. So we should just do this. To get to the top of the page, I use Command up arrow. I don't think Windows has one, so sorry. Yeah. So in header image, we should just do this. Hit the style, and it reformats it. Great. So now what do we have left? We have the fact that these images are huge and these table images are also huge and everything else looks just fine. Also, I just want to point out that it'll keep doing this until 600 pixels when it'll do this again and mess it all up. So this doesn't look right still, so I'm going to see when does the website look correct. And I want to say somewhere around what 828. So I'm gonna put at 850 pixels. Just to be safe, 850 pixels. So instead of doing max width 600 pixels, I will do 850 pixel. Yes, now this looks a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner. And while we're expanding this, now at 850, we can see that this grows up again and it looks bigger. Right, but now if I still decrease this, second it goes past 850. So if I type in here, if I do 849, or let's do, sorry, that was wrong, 850, it is, sorry, 851, it's huge, looks really awkward. Then 850, you can see it decreases to look like this, with nothing on. So if I just close this out, it looks nice and smooth, nice and steady. But with inspect on at 850 pixels, it'll look a little better, a little bit like this here, right? This is nice, but current problem is that these support images are too big and these my apps are also too big. Let's get started on that then. So in here, hashtag support, I think it was image. Let's look at our current sizes. For hashtag support, our images are 200 by 200, so we should change this up again. So this is, by the way, a image. Width of 100 pixels by height of 100 pixels. And actually, what we should be able to do, we'll get to that actually in a second. This video is gonna be a little bit longer, maybe, yeah. So there you go. Looks a little bit cleaner, a little bit better, a little bit smaller. Looks nice. And these my apps are, well, now huge in comparison to everything else. So go into hashtag product. Or right here, actually, we have these, and it says height 100 by width 100. We can just copy this and just paste it down here. Hit this magic icon to reformat. And height, I want to actually change it to about 50 pixels by about 50 pixels. Okay, so now we can see it looks a little smaller. This might look a little bit awkward to you, but if we keep decreasing the size, right here, this image has gone out. But then again, no phones really go beyond about 400 pixels. So let's see how it looks at 400 pixels. Yeah, it looks a little bit over the edge, but nothing much, so that's fine. Nothing really goes this small anymore. So let's just see iPhone 6 pixel size, 750, right? iPhone 4 even, if I go that small too. iPhone 4 is 960 by 640 apparently. So what? Yeah, 640 pixels. iPhone 6 750 pixels. Nothing really goes smaller than that much. So 640. Let's see, what would an iPhone 4 look like? Well, yeah, you would see this, and this is perfectly fine for an iPhone 4. You can see if this even has an iPhone 4 in here. Yeah, there's an iPhone 4, so we can just tap here, look for the iPhone 4. Okay, this is really strange, but yeah, this image is a bit too big for an iPhone 4, but again, that's generalizing a bit. So if we just go, I don't know, Pixel 2 is pretty big. So yeah, Pixel 2 is 411. That is relatively small, and it still all looks really nice on a Pixel 2. The chances of somebody using an iPhone 4 and going on the website aren't that high, so I wouldn't really worry about that. But if you're targeting an audience that has iPhone 4s, you're going to expect that kind of a population of that. you might want to look into decreasing some sizes or not even just using meta charts or the meta. I use meta because it makes it a little bit more flexible for me to change up the font size, add my own requirements. But yeah, so add Pixel 2 at 411 pixels. This looks just fine. Even at iPhone XR, this is my phone that I have. 8. Let's go back to here. 100%, 828 by 1792. This also looks just fine, like so. Yeah. And yeah, so this looks just about fine. And these do look a little bit big, I will admit, but if you want to edit it, you can edit it. I'm going to leave it as it is for now. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to remind you that if you ever don't want to, go on YouTube or whatever, and just don't want to view these videos, I have opened up a website, developer.qoom.space/tilde/30 Qoom. Here you will see all the videos as they're posted. You can, and hitting each of these will post a new one. So day 9, perhaps I want to see that one. I can wait for it to load a bit. Let's just load the page. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. It does take a little bit of time, given certain Wi-Fi speeds, but if yours loads on time, it loads on time. Thank you. See you next time.